This episode of Ask Your Dad is brought to you by Coda Bear Native American Jewelry. They do turquoise, awesome blankets for men, women, jewelry for kids. To get hooked up on a discount, go to codabear.com and use code AskYourDad20. That's KOTAHBEAR.com. Again, that code is AskYourDad20.
Ask Your Dad.
Welcome to Ask Your Dad. This is episode 3. My name is Nate Flake. I'm your host, and we have three guys in here today, 3 dads. I'll let you guys go ahead and introduce yourself. Go around.
Yeah, Taylor Murphy, dad now 4.5 years. Got 2 boys, 4.5, 2.5, and just trying to figure out how to
survive.
how to be a dad in 2020. Life's good.
Kellen Levitt. I got a 4.5-year-old girl, year-old boy. I'm just taking it day by day.
So Kellen is the first repeat guest. So it only took 3 episodes. He was a fan favorite. So
He's a star.
We're bringing him back.
I fill in when there's a void.
Mitch Peterson here. I got a 1-year-old new dad. Happy to be here.
Okay, will you stop eating that popcorn? Taylor brought snacks, and he brought the loudest popcorn.
Yeah, not only is eating it loud, but the bag is loud too.
The crinkliest bag ever. Yeah. Throw the bag away, dude.
Okay,
Unofficial
sorry. I won't
sponsor.
You're
touch it.
literally like my 6-year-old.
Put my gum in.
You're such a liar. Okay,
Where'd that gum come from? It was already chewed.
I know. I put it back out and then.
you gotta toss
Did
that.
you put it under your shirt?
Yes, it was sitting here.
gotta
Mitch,
toss
that's
it.
the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my
You
life.
gotta toss it, dude.
Nobody does
this
that.
This isn't an ASMR podcast.
Just scrubbing it on the 6-pack.
You gotta ditch it now for real though.
It's gone.
You gotta ditch the
The
gum.
gum?
Yeah, get real. All right. Okay, so we're on episode 3. Going to talk a little bit about this last weekend. We went to this place called it's like a Ninja Warrior for kids place. Have you guys been to any of these?
Like
so
a-
it's
like
like
a
it's like an
bounce house?
airborne. Yeah, it's like a bounce house, but it's all Ninja Warrior stuff. It's up in Sandy.
I try to avoid because I feel like your kid gets staph if you go in those places. So.
Given.
No,
there any-
this isn't a bounce house though. I agree with you.
Oh.
Like you're talking about like the bounce houses that 100%.
Oh, airborne, bounce house.
Yeah, you're looking at ringworm on those ones for
Oh,
sure.
given.
I feel like if I was ever going to take my kids to one of those places, I would text you first. Even if it was just some random place, I'd be like, Nate, what's this place like? Because you've for
good,
sure
man.
been there. You know everything. You're like the foremost expert
In kids'
on
activities.
every kid's activity. Don't we? When you guys
My
think?
kids have
Nate's
extreme
there.
FOMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been to every amusement park or theme park or whatever this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mitch hasn't left his house yet.
No.
Mitch was on the ice last
This is the
weekend.
first time he's left his
I
house in
took
a
force
year.
on the ice.
Wait, what was it like? Do your kids get sick or no? That's like
Oh, yeah.
It's like 50% chance every time you go.
No,
to
no.
those
This place is not. Yeah, it's not a bouncy house. It's like an actual like Ninja Warrior, American Ninja Warrior course for little kids, and then there's one for older, and then there's one for adults that is super hard. So it was cool, but it was kind of like expensive. So we're like we were at the door. It's like $15 a kid. So I'm paying $15 for my 6-year-old for an hour. That's like not really like she liked it. She was into it. But I was just thinking as I'm paying, I tell the girls like, are you sure? You always check with them, right? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Because you want to make sure whenever you pay for a kid's activity, that whatever you pay, they have equal fun to whatever the ratio of dollar amount spent.
Right. Yep.
That's why everyone's so on edge at Disneyland. Put the freaking popcorn away, dude.
I'm sorry. I'm hungry.
You're out of control, dude.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So, anyways, I was like, I don't know. It was just funny because I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm paying whatever $15 an hour for my kids to play on this thing, and if they don't play, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like it's the same thing with kids' meals. Like, I've vowed to never buy another kids' meal 1,000 times ever.
Because they don't eat one
buy
bite.
them
of it?
2, and then they'll have 1 bite, and yeah, you waste so much. Like, I'd rather get. It's like eat on demand. If
Yeah.
if they're starving, we'll get one. But if they're not, I don't want to see them waste the
They're
food.
absolutely, like you can see them like lightheaded and fainting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to starve out the.
With kids'
hunger.
activities, though, I feel like especially if you go with friends. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always like, okay, when you have to have that level of fun. Whatever the level of money you pay, you better have that level of fun.
Yep.
If I'm paying Disneyland money, you better be out of your freaking mind.
Yeah.
You better be. That's why you parents get so pissed at Disneyland.
Well, what was the result? Did they like it or
They
no?
worshipped it. Yeah, it was good.
And no sickness?
I was little. No sickness. It's all like wood. It's like an actual like obstacle course. It's
Just
like made of
lice?
wood and like masonite and
Yeah, I want to
no
start.
lice.
I want to
luckily.
start one of those, and when you walk in, it's like we're the cleanest jungle gym in the world. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a
Hold some
clean freak
title.
when it comes to that. But
Yeah,
like,
they're definitely out.
That's a good idea.
We
we went to that. We went to one in Orem, and the second I was going there, Kelsey texted me. I was taking the kids there when she was out of town, and she was like, "Did you know that so and so got hand, foot, and mouth from that place?"
Oh.
And I'm like, well, I'm still
I'm already
go.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was yesterday.
Yeah, and I just hand sanitized them like every 10
Yeah,
seconds.
Sloan tries to avoid the bouncy houses in the winter, but then it's like, what else is there to do in the winter with your kids?
Yeah, January in Utah is brutal.
Give them a coloring book.
Yeah, it doesn't fly for my kids, dude.
Yeah.
It better be like the best coloring book ever.
Oh yeah,
And have like lasers and make noise.
I hate those places. I have too much anxiety because I would rather basically like break my leg than I would my kid get sick. So
Yeah.
nothing worse than sick kids.
Yeah,
Sick
Forest
wife.
is throwing up
Sick
everywhere.
mom's 1,000 times worse than sick kids.
That's probably comparable. So yeah,
Forrest is sick right now.
Way sick.
So
Throw up.
are we sick from sitting by you?
Throw up everywhere, diarrhea everywhere.
No.
In my house, yes.
Your kid's sick 24/7.
Yeah, it's bad.
So Nate, I texted Nate this last week on the podcast. They talked about puking. What's worse, like car seat or bed?
Puking
Something
in a
like
car seat or puking in your bed.
that.
Not
The
in their
next day, I was driving home from
Oh,
Park
sorry.
City, and Hollis, our 2-year-old, puked everywhere.
bed. Just the omen.
just
He
too
kept
much.
saying home, home, and he was like crying. We didn't know why, and suddenly there was just chunks of strawberry all over
Oh,
him,
That's out.
all over our car. 8 at night. It was a bad deal.
Oh, my
Brand new
God.
carpet.
I blame your
brand
I
new
blame the
rug,
podcast.
all ruined by Forrest yesterday.
You're like,
Yeah, yesterday.
Did you try and
All
clean it
carpet's
or
not
no?
ruined. You can clean the
No,
carpet.
no, it's thrown away.
Straight to the.
We threw away a
You
chair.
ripped up the carpet?
Yeah, we threw away one chair because it was ruined.
Threw away
take-
the 6-month-old carpet.
You take out an X-Acto knife and like cut out the little.
and
Yeah,
then,
you're
and the
wild.
brand new rug ruined, throw up everywhere, and then diarrhea everywhere.
You need to wake up.
Time out. Time out. Why don't you put a diaper on him?
Is he just running
Had
around
a
butt
diaper.
naked?
He had a diaper. It leaked down his legs. It was everywhere.
What's happening?
It was everywhere. Diarrhea everywhere.
How long were you not watching it for? Like 30, 40 minutes? He just crawled around the whole house?
No, he had a diaper on.
I think you got
What's
to.
but there was
happening?
it was coming down his legs.
That's out of
I think
control.
you got to
Terrible.
double up on diapers.
Yeah, maybe.
I think you got to double wrap
Maybe.
that.
Yeah, you saran wrap it, pants, leggings, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, put them in a trash can.
Yeah.
A trash bag.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad deal.
Terrible.
Another thing that happened this week, we were at Winco getting groceries, coming out to put the groceries in the back of the car. So the last thing I had was the cart and the case of water, right? This is another like dad peeve or whatever. Put the pumpkin away. Wake up, dude. We're canceling the podcast. 100%. You're not sneaky. It's so loud in the
Sorry,
mics.
okay, I'm sorry.
He cannot help himself but grab
yeah.
this popcorn every 2 seconds.
No one's
Throw it in the
seen-
corner.
No
Throw it
one's
in the
seen-
corner.
Throw it in the
Mitch.
garbage behind you.
Throw it in the corner.
These are sensitive microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't eat popcorn during the podcast.
Slides at 6 inches.
Yeah,
Take the
what?
cum out of your mouth. You're 5 years old.
So, anyways, emptying all the groceries are done. I noticed there's a car, and we weren't even like that in that primo of a spot. We were like maybe 8-9 rows deep. There's a car waiting to take my spot, which I hate. Like if I'm not already in my car, don't wait. Don't rush me into like get the groceries. I hate that.
You don't want
It's
them to,
like
you don't want them to follow you with the blinker on.
100% peer pressure on when they're like waiting to take your spot and you're still emptying your groceries. So I noticed him, so I'm already kind of annoyed. Go to lift up the water case, and then as I lift up the water case, the cart starts to go backwards towards their car. There's like a little bit of an incline. So I lift it. I'm like, okay. So then I kind of pull it towards me, lift it again. Same thing. Starts rolling back towards this car that's blinking in to get my parking spot. And so I'm like, oh my, how annoying. So then I try to grab the bag with one hander. You know how you pull the ends, like hold the end of it, one hand up. So I'm holding it. It rips. Water bottles start just cascading down. Water bottles start rolling away. The cart's rolling at this point. At this point, I'm like yelling Sloan's name. It's not her fault at all, but I like wanted to blame her. I was like pissed. Like something's going wrong and I should have just like put it on the ground, grabbed the cart, took in the cart. So I'm like yelling Sloan's name, and then she's already in the car. Anyways, the most stressful 30 seconds of my life. I ended up literally looking like I don't know. I was just like picking all the water bottles up as they're rolling away from me.
The guy get out of his car and help
No,
you?
it didn't help me. He's literally just sitting there waiting. There was like 10 water bottles on the ground, rolling around, carts
This is
rolling
at
around.
Costco.
So at Winco, I was pissed. Yeah,
That's a bad deal, man.
it's really stressful.
It's a bad deal. You gotta.
But the point of it is, there's nothing worse than when people wait for you in the parking lot while you're still unloading. There's got to be like a unwritten law, like you don't wait for someone unless they're like getting into their car. You can see them like if they're still unloading, move on.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure because I sometimes like to just chill in my car before I have to leave. you
Oh,
know?
get-
I gotta
That's also annoying.
read something.
gotta
I gotta
check
send a couple
Instagram.
texts. I gotta listen to Ask Your Dad. I gotta get it dialed up on my phone. You know.
Just get caught back up.
So I need my 5-minute buffer, and if they're just waiting for me,
You just sit there longer. Then are you that guy?
no, like I leave, but they have to take that precious time away from me.
Yeah.
Especially once you get your kids in the car seat. Once you get your kids in the car seats, and they're chilling, and
They're happy.
You've had stressful
Oh, they're
grocery
happy.
time. They're
Yeah.
happy. You got them a sucker or some juice or whatever, and you're chilling. You want to like decompress before
Just
you
sit there
have
for
to
a little bit.
drive and be stressed some more. You know.
Yeah.
So if someone takes that. from
Grocery
me-
stores top stress probably. Sloan doesn't even like go with me and the kids anymore. I get so pissed. I get really upset. when
Wait,
they
you
shopping.
go grocery shopping just you and the kids?
No. Sloan will go on her own.
Oh yeah.
Without the kids, but she won't go. She'll go with the kids sometimes,
Yeah.
but like with me and the kids, it's pretty rare because I get very emotional.
Yeah.
I get mad.
Mitch, have you put Forrest in that little, the little red shopping cart?
Little tyke thing.
Yeah, the little
No.
like car at the grocery
No,
store.
He just sits in the front of the normal size whatever, but he screams the whole way.
Yeah.
Every
I
aisle.
can't see you grocery shopping for some reason.
Yeah, it's rough. Every aisle.
No, I
he
can't
just
like even see
screams.
you in a grocery store with a
No, I
cart.
spend like 30 minutes down each aisle. I don't know what to pick. I spend a whole hour down the cereal aisle, like thinking, okay, what do I need to get?
And then you end up
It's
with
bad.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
or
I either buy
Yeah.
like everything at the grocery store or nothing.
I come
Oh,
I
yeah.
come
You know?
out with hardly anything, but I spend like 3 hours in there. It's
No
bad.
way.
It's
You're
bad.
very like picky.
Yeah,
Mitch, I think that's something you got to work out, man.
it's bad.
Yeah, I go. Sloan doesn't like sending me also because I end up spending way too much money on stuff we don't need. So send me the list, and I'll get like 3 things on the list, and just like $600 of Dr Pepper.
I hate making lists. My wife always wants to make
I'm
a
a
list
list
before
guy.
I go, and I'm the one that goes to the grocery store solo, no kids. But I just don't like lists. I just wing it. I just walk down the stores and
Just
like,
memory
all right.
lane.
Yeah,
How
every
do you
time
know-
I'm
how
at
do
the
you
grocery
remember?
store, I see Kellen solo.
You're
He's solo
lying.
at this grocery
Yeah, I
store
saw
every time.
Yeah, I saw Mitch's wife and kid at Harmon's not too long ago.
I feel like grocery store it actually is super relaxing without kids. It's one of those things that
It's
is,
unreal.
it is
It's-
the most
No.
stressful thing when you're with kids, but when you're without them, it's
It's not,
Just
but
have-
it's not bad at all
it's
without
like
kids.
still-
it's like
way
meditative
stressful.
for me.
Still way
Just
stressful.
like walking around,
No,
throwing a podcast, throw on Ask Your Dad.
I hate
and
it.
just stroll.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
what I
bad.
do.
Yeah, it's not bad without kids.
I do not like the grocery store.
You got to go to a good one.
I've been to all of them.
The Harmons in Lehigh?
Terrible.
Oh man, I tweeted this a while ago, but I want to
right
be
closer.
I want to be buried at that salad bar. That place is like
Where, Harmon's?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, there's one right here. We go all the time.
everything at Harmon's, unofficial sponsor Harmon's,
And
especially
by,
the one
and by
in
we
Lehigh.
go all the time. People at my work go, and I don't go because I usually eat out other places.
The Under North one's fine. Like it's fine in Orem, but the Lehigh one is like,
Yeah, but
That's
getting to
primo.
Lehigh one's out.
I buy sushi from the Lehigh
The
one.
Traverse one?
yeah, if you're buying sushi at a grocery store in Lehigh, it's got to be amazing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So you grocery shop more than you eat out?
No,
That's
Well, what do you
0%
mean?
chance.
Like eat meals at dinner at home? Yeah, we definitely eat dinner at home more than we eat dinner out, right?
Really?
that's surprising.
Yeah.
What about you?
For
Nick?
you.
What about you?
We eat at home more. On the weekends, I don't. We leave our house, and I don't step foot in the house till midnight, probably.
Okay, well,
Oh, we eat
A lot of shopping. over
Obviously-
there.
we eat at home every night, so
Yeah.
and having kids obviously changed that. Going to a restaurant with kids, it's like it's got to be the perfect setup. Otherwise,
The stars have
horrible.
to align.
well, yeah, and
My
they-
kids are out of that.
they-
I'm so happy.
They've got to. There's got to be something on the menu they like. It can't be so nice that they
Break stuff.
are disturbing the peace.
Remember when we went to Anasazi in St. George? Were you with us that time?
kids or no? I've
With
never
kids.
been there.
You were
with
with
kids.
us.
I think I was, but I don't think we had kids yet. I think it was,
No,
I think it was
we
me.
had. Yeah, you didn't have kids
We
yet.
didn't have
we
kids
did.
yet.
So Anasazi is a steakhouse where they give you the 4 billion degree
Way
stone.
good.
Yeah,
And then you cook the steak on the stone. But they put the stone right in front of you, and then you're supposed to cook it yourself, which I don't love that idea because I want people to just make the food. But The steak's really good.
Shout out to Anasazi though, it's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
way good.
that was what Sam, our dear friend Sam Crosley. If I beat him 10 games in a row in ping pong, he would buy me.
Did
free
he
Anasazi.
actually pay up on his bet?
I beat him 9 in a row, and
Stormed off.
he stormed off, and he wouldn't play me up until we were supposed to go to Anasazi.
That
We're sitting
sounds
there.
like a Sam thing.
Honestly, I don't think he paid. I don't think he paid.
Still to this day.
to this day, 9 in a row though. Hi Sam.
That does sound
Hi,
like a Sam
Donnie.
move.
Hi, Donnie at the table.
So anyways, we went to Nora. I don't know. Nora was like maybe 2. Coco was 4, maybe 3 and 5. I don't know. Anyway, she was young. The lady came and put the stone right in front of Nora, like the waiter or waitress or whatever. And Nora wasn't even eating. Like it was for me. Yeah, and she just laid her hand flat on the $4 million or 4 million degree thing.
Jeez.
Burned the crap out of her hand. I was pissed at the waitress. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't put it in front of a kid.
Yeah, like right in front of her.
Right in front of her.
How old?
Like 3 or 4.
It's like handing him a whiskey.
lawsuit.
Oh, just straight up hand. I know I should have sued.
Jeez, that's a bad deal.
We didn't go back. There's
Hospital?
no statute of limitations here. Huh?
Hospital visit?
No, I don't know what we did. She had blisters on her fingers though. It's pretty rammed. So the first thing we put on Instagram was, what do you do? This happens to Coco all the time, my 8-year-old. She wakes up, and it's probably because we've been watching Star Wars a lot. Like we're finally caught up. I think on episode 1 I said we were starting. We're caught up. We need to go see the newest one in theaters.
I haven't seen any Star Wars PS, not one.
Yeah, I hadn't.
one
I
in-
had it
Not
either.
one.
In your whole life.
In my whole life, I
Why?
have not seen
Give-
one all
give
the
me
way
the
through.
reason. Give me the
Because
reason.
I do not like fantasy.
How do you know if
whatever
you
you
haven't
call
seen
that?
it?
Sci-fi?
How do you know
Hate
if
it.
you haven't seen it?
Sci-fi? No.
Have you ever watched one sci-fi thing?
I tell my kids every day. How do you know you don't like that food if you haven't eaten it?
I've seen
you're
parts.
talking to a child. This kid can't keep his hands out of a
I-
popcorn bag.
And you haven't watched
You're
one
literally-
Star Wars.
No, not all the way through.
Just to
No,
like see
not
what
one.
it's like.
No.
Like global phenomenon. No, I'm not even gonna watch one of those.
They start on like episode 5, then they go to 2. I don't understand the
No,
chronological.
it's 4. Before this, Mitch. Though to be fair, I hadn't either.
I've seen 1.
I
Or
did it.
2.
I did it because my 8-year-old wanted to do it. So
Yeah.
I've done it. Anyways, they're fine. They're good. But I'm not like some like I don't know like every fact or
They're
whatever.
not like Unreal.
I don't know all like the Easter eggs in each movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty
and
good. It's entertaining. Like I wanted to watch the next one to see what happens.
I'm not even a huge Star Wars.
But to
like,
shut it off like that is very.
yeah, to zero, like not to watch one.
Yeah.
That's you gotta.
Not into it.
Your American
value.
passport's in trouble.
Not in. I
For real.
don't even have a passport.
Yeah, I don't. I believe that.
You don't have one?
No. No.
All right, your
You're out of
your
control.
citizenship. I don't know. Do you vote? Have you voted?
Yeah, Trump.
We gotta cut that off.
I don't know. We can get into that.
Yeah, we gotta keep.
We're
it off
walking
the
down a
track.
dangerous path.
Oh my gosh.
That was the only topic
Yeah,
that,
no
we were,
pol-
that we were gonna avoid: politics and religion, because Mitch has some extremist views. So going back to the segment, so Coco wakes up, especially lately, last 2 weeks, a ton with like nightmares and like not night terrors, but she'll like yell and scream out, which especially now because she's older, she's like pretty loud, and you know her room's down the hall. It's super scary sometimes because they'll wake up to just screaming. So I put out a question on Instagram: what do you do when your kid wakes up with a nightmare / night terror? So you know what a night terror is, Mitch?
Yeah.
You're such an idiot, dude.
Like a nightmare on steroids.
So yeah, night terror is like what my little brother Kyson used to do. I'd come home like in high school. When we were in high school, he was like in 8th or 7th grade, and I'd come home at night late, and I'd walk downstairs, and he would be just smashing laundry baskets into hundreds of pieces, just
old was he?
screaming. 7th grade. Like
That's
night terrors is like next level.
Yeah, have you heard of people that
Have like killed people in their
kill
sleep.
people in their
Yeah.
sleep
And they get acquitted.
They get acquitted. Yeah, there's
Because
one of
they're
my
medical.
favorite comedians, Mike Birbiglia. He sleepwalks like crazy. He has this bit. He walked out of the second story of a La Quinta,
No way.
out the glass door and fell onto the barren floor. Yeah, he almost died
No way.
because he sleepwalks so
cow.
deeply. Yeah, so he has to lay in he has to zip himself
In.
into his sheets, into his bed, and he tells hilarious stories about how he has this cat like lick his face in the middle of the night, but he
He
cannot
can't get out. So how does he get out in the morning?
His wife zips him in.
Oh, that is
and
claustrophobia, dude.
and unzips him every morning.
That's a lot of anxiety. I couldn't sleep with that.
He
I
has
can't even have the
like
sheets on.
he might not survive. He might kill someone. Like that's how bad
it is.
sleepwalking is.
I can't even have
Bad
like
deal.
the sheet tucked in the mattress. I go nuts.
Yeah.
I like that. Nothing worse than your feet being exposed.
Oh, and Sloan does that. I flail my feet up so fast, dude. I up to the ceiling.
Have you guys tried those
Free
weighted?
myself.
Have you tried the weighted blankets?
Oh, that's claustrophobia.
yeah.
too.
I haven't tried it for the same reason.
Doty was talking about his. He's got like a 30-pounder.
Yeah.
Really? That's
Worships.
wild.
people,
gotta be
yeah,
tucked
people,
in.
I
people
don't again.
worship them.
I got to be tucked in like a burrito. Like I steal all the blankets. And
You
I
make your
burrito-
wife
I
tuck you
burrito.
in?
Yeah.
Do you have separate blankets?
Yeah.
You have
You know
separate
what?
beds.
Separate.
Separate
And I
blankets.
burrito in.
Do you have her burrito you?
No, I just
does she
burrito
wrap you up?
myself. I just roll them all and I
Oh,
just
that
burrito
is
in.
out, dude.
No, it's good.
I don't know. It's late. I'm getting tired.
A lot of
That's out.
sweat.
All right. So I asked question. What do you do when your kid does it? Have your kids ever had it, or is it just me?
No, my daughter Mabel had them pretty bad. I don't know the line between night terror and horrible
Yeah, I don't know what it is
nightmare. Like,
either.
I don't know like the psychological line, but no, she would just flip out. Nothing you can do. It's just like
Yeah.
having a wild boar in the bed. They
What
just
do you
go
do?
crazy.
You just get
No,
out of
you
bed
just-
and walk
no,
away.
you just stay there with them and just sit in the bed and like, hey, it's okay. But they're obviously not rational, so
Yeah.
eventually it just stops.
You don't
I
wake.
know.
You don't. You. So do you wake them
Well,
up?
I like
though?
I like try to wake her up, but it's still. I mean, just she's gone at that point. You know.
Yeah.
Just hysterical.
She's gone.
I don't know what
She's
to
too
do. So,
far
so I
gone.
I just sit there and wait till. Thankfully, she stopped that though. Doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
So but
I don't know.
nothing really worked for me.
Coco, like I try to tell her. It's happened to Nora a couple times, but I don't know what to do.
My kids
Don't let them watch TV, which is good luck.
Yeah, I feel like my kids don't sleep deep enough. Like I'm
You're not
I
to that
shouldn't
point
say I
yet.
shouldn't say I'm jealous, but because it's obviously really scary for them. But the second my kids are scared slightly, they're awake,
Wide awake
and they're
for
next
hours.
to they're standing next to my bed.
Yeah, it's like what we talked about last episode.
Yeah, saying I'm
Just in the
scared, or I need you to turn on my light, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That it's never like them in their sleeping deeply.
Yeah.
Is Hollis out of a crib?
He's out of a crib. Yeah, both boys are.
When did
in.
they get out of cribs?
Kind of whenever. I mean, people will say different things.
Old-
People-
yeah, the older one
We might have
usually-
too early, but he was like, it was like a couple months ago. So when he turned 2,
But it's because but like the older one, usually the second one goes out earlier because they see the older sibling.
yeah, and he was constantly getting out, and we couldn't keep him in it. So we're like, he's basically in a toddler bed anyway, so he's jumping out. But on this topic, I was thinking about it. Yeah, like I said, our kids just get up in the night and come over and talk to us. But how do you guys feel about this? We switched the locks on both their doors and put the locks on the outside,
That's
So
funny
the-
you say that, dude.
so that when they wake up in the morning or they wake up in the middle of the night, they come and it's like I can't leave my room to go to my parents. I think it's pretty controversial. People
I've
probably
been
think it's
contemplating that
abusive.
move, but I haven't gotten there yet.
It's funny you say that. My boss at work commented on Facebook last week because we
Yeah.
were talking about the kids like getting out of their beds and like scaring you essentially.
Yeah.
And he made a joke, was like, "Oh, that's easy, just like Benadryl and outside locks."
Okay, yeah, we don't take the drug route, but we do. And when they're jiggling the handle, that
How long do you wait before you open
yeah,
it?
no, a lot of times
I'm
they'll
awake in
just-
1 second with that jiggle. By the way.
No,
Oh, jiggle, that's out.
It's bad. It's a bad sound. But
Just-
sometimes they'll jiggle and go back to bed, and then I think it like builds up this
Immunity.
or this muscle that I can't leave my room. I don't know.
No, I'm sure I don't think it's like bad or whatever, but
Yeah.
we didn't do it. Sloan's also like way on the opposite end where she slept with them until she still sleeps with them basically.
Yeah, we're probably
Like she
weird.
lays them until they fall asleep.
Our
sometimes.
kids will not fall asleep in our bed. We tried it a lot. They don't sleep in our bed. They if they're next to us, they want to be playing.
Yeah.
They don't.
I mean, in their own bed, she would lay with them in their bed.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
they try to sleep in our bed every freaking night. That's a whole nother episode. But yeah, that's good. It's working so far.
Yeah, it's working. I was talking to Kelsey about it before he came. She said it was drama. Our fellow armchair expert, Dax Shepard,
Yeah,
I guess
Daxy.
talked about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was on the show last week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
with the guys.
Another unofficial sponsor.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's sponsor.
Him and his wife, him and Kristen Bell do it, and they got a lot of flack for it. And they're like, "Well, like they need to sleep,
Yeah,
and we
what are
need
we
to
supposed
sleep
to
so
do?
we can be good parents.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep them in their room and teach them how to sleep in their own bed.
Dude, I remember, this is maybe off topic. I remember before I had kids reading articles about like kids, like some like Podunk Town in Alabama, and you know, dad throws a kid against a fireplace in the middle of the night because he can't get it to shut up, like can't get it to go to sleep. And I'm like, those devils. But then you have a kid
Yeah.
and you're so tired, especially the first kid. Second kid's like you're pretty immune at that point, I think. But the first kid, and Mitch, you've probably had experience with this.
Given.
So
murder.
you're
Murder is close.
it's 3 a.m. and you can't get the kid. You know, like your wife feeds him or whatever, feeds her, and so she goes back to sleep. So then you're like, you're on deck, right? Like you're ready to go.
Given.
Kid won't stop crying. You're so tired. You like literally, you're like in another dimension.
Right. You don't know what to do.
Yeah, you don't know. Like your head isn't even on this planet.
Out of body experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like I remember like 3 or 4 months after we had Coco, she was 4 months old. Thinking back to that story I read, I'm like, that's actually like not that like crazy of a thought
Yeah.
right now.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember you told me that when I first had a kid. You're like,
Before you had a kid, I told
before I
you
had a
that.
kid, you were like, you hear about those people shaking babies, like,
Oh,
And you're like,
You're-
those
To
pieces
be
of
honest,
shit.
it's,
It's
pretty wild that more kids don't die.
No, kids do die. I think we just don't hear about them as much.
Well, maybe, but it's scary.
you get some bad thoughts.
Yeah.
No, you're not yourself. You're almost on
No.
like on extreme drugs.
Maybe acquittal legally. If
Yeah.
yeah, no,
anyway.
but I mean, honestly, so my son will be a year next month, and he's 11 months and change. The longest he's ever slept at night is probably 30 minutes in a stretch.
Kellen.
no,
No
way.
lie.
That's a
Maybe
lie.
like cresting an hour. Like
an
maybe.
hour?
Kellen.
No,
I
no,
still need
no,
the truth.
no.
I still need the truth on this.
So
Is it
this
really?
is this isn't hyperbole or hyperbole, however you like say it or whatever. No, it's the truth. I think he's the worst sleeper to ever touch this earth.
Hey, you know what?
No, it
What do you think? What is
He
his
almost
deal?
takes
What's
his
his deal?
headphones
No one-
off.
What's
no
his
one
deal?
knows the deal. We've tried to cry it out. First night, my wife Melissa, we were both kind of on the fence. She went out somewhere with the girls, and I'm like, all right, well,
you're like, I'm gonna do
I'm
this.
just throwing him in the crib and leaving him.
Yeah.
So she's gone for roughly 3 hours. He cried or sat up for the full 3. So then we're like, all right, we'll try it again. Next night,
Middle of the night, he cried all night.
Went 7 hours and never gave in once. Cried for 3.
He's got your-
Sat there.
he's got your,
just sat there wobbling on his haunches for
Persistence.
4 more hours.
Hot as hot.
So now he sleeps with Melissa. So it's just the whole co-sleep. But still there, he wakes up a million times a night. No, I'm not lying. It's every night's at least 30 times a night.
Okay, so I'm not like.
So she's somehow still alive at 11 months of no sleep. I sleep in the other room because I can't handle it, but I still hear it. So
How do you fathom?
Oh yeah, I'm functioning at like 10%. I've almost lost sanity permanently. But
Is he sick often by chance? Does he get
So
ear infections?
no, never had an ear infection. Wasn't sick for the first 7 months of his life. He's been sick now, coincidentally, for like the last 4 weeks. But
We just went to the ENT today because Hollis gets ear infections all the time. He wakes up once or twice a night and he's 2. And they're suggesting we get his adenoids out. I was telling Nate about this before
What's that?
recording.
Didn't you say he's been sick his whole life?
Well,
Essentially.
he gets like an ear infection every 2 months.
yeah, I had adenoids.
Consistently.
I had
you
adenoids
had
in
tubes
like
in your ears,
yeah,
too.
I had tubes like 100 times. I still can't go below like 18 inches of water until water rushes to my brain. So, and I used to fail all those hearing tests at school.
Yeah.
Like senior year, they would like call me in to test my hearing. Like we all thought we got past that, and I'd get called randomly. Hey, come test your hearing. Hold up your hand. Would never hold it up. They would send me to random schools like further in the district that had like soundproof rooms.
You got to turn up Kellen's headphones, I think. That's hilarious.
So, but yeah, my ears are horrible, so it's probably genetic. But
You
he's gotten checked out. I mean, I haven't seen anything.
Our
But
the doctor was like, yeah, he's not saying this is a magic bullet, like guarantee he's going to sleep, but he notices a lot of kids, if they have bad, I don't know, systems up there, it's
Yeah,
hard
well-
to breathe. And so they wake up every,
he goes in for
30 minutes.
his year in a couple weeks. So I'll have to run that by the
medical
pediatrician.
professional.
But-
Yeah.
yeah, this is not medical advice.
Yeah, no, it's
So you guys
it's been a while. It's been a wild year.
that's
Very little
awful.
sleep.
So are you guys getting the surgery then, Taylor?
Yeah. Adenoids and put tubes in his ears.
Dude, I remember. I was telling you this too. I remember, like very vividly, getting my tonsils out when I was like 6.
Yeah.
like the whole day before, the whole day of driving up to the hospital. So I was too scared.
Recovery
So
bad?
luckily I just ate like popsicles and Go-Gurts for 7 days.
I got,
Being a
mine,
kid is the
I got mine
best.
out at 22.
But I was just scared of going under the knife
That's
and
bad.
going in it. Like you're
with you
like,
the
you have
day
no
after.
idea what that means. You're
Sure.
a kid.
Yeah.
But at least that he's young enough, he won't remember it.
Have you had yours out?
No.
I haven't had mine out.
I get-
Your tonsils?
No.
I get
Still
sick
got
way
'em.
I
less
still
often.
mumble like a mother effer, but anyways.
Yeah, I walked in the doctor, looked at mine. They said your tonsils and your throat's green and yellow and like infected. We should probably cut them out. And I was fishing with Mitch the next day, coincidentally. So
Wow.
it wasn't that bad for me. But
That's unreal.
Mitch, you went fishing with
The
your
pain
kid
pills
last week.
helped.
Yeah.
How was that? 1-year-old on the lake.
that's brave.
He did all right.
Yeah, for
A
someone
lot
who
of
never
cries,
leaves the
a few
house,
smiles.
that's pretty extreme,
A couple
dude.
fish caught.
I was actually stunned.
Yeah.
Did he hold the fish? Was he pumped?
No.
Our
He
kids.
kind of talked to it, but that was it.
It's always interesting seeing how kids like handle
Dead
dead animals.
Yeah,
Like,
Coco's a freak about them.
for Boston is like he
It's so
loved like
sad.
learning about chickens and cow. Like cow says moo, and then suddenly he's eating he's
Yeah, Coco can't
chicken nuggets.
count
He's
fathom.
like, wait, so are these like chickens? And you don't know how to break
his
it
heart.
to him that all the books you've been reading him.
Don't even get this kid started on the
eating.
vegan crap.
Well, I watched-
Mitch is
So he's
going.
vegan.
I watch hunting shows with my
Maybe in his
daughter, and
heart.
she's 4.5 every night.
Is she into it, or is
Oh,
she
she
just
loves
like
it now.
cuddling?
She loves it now. She wasn't too pumped at first, but now she sees animals and says, "Let's go shoot them and put them in the truck." So I feel like she's on the right track.
Oh my gosh, I
Well,
can't
no,
even imagine.
at first I was just trying to get her to like what
shoot 'em and
what
put 'em
Taylor
in.
just said. I wanted to know that like what you're eating's food. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's a deer. It's got a mommy and like a family." Where it's like, no, it's not the case. Like that's just
Yeah.
food at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, let's watch some hunting shows and see what she thinks. And at first she would
She's been hooked.
just pick the species she wanted to see die. Like she didn't want to see any deer die, and
Yeah.
now she's all about it. So
That's wild.
she's got a pink BB gun and she's ready to go.
Really indoctrinating.
Oh, you got to start early, or else who knows how they'll turn
Unreal.
out.
Yeah,
That's too wild.
Mitch here is our avid hunter as well as Kellen. He has Peterson Outdoors Instagram. Go follow him. He tried to be vegan.
Peterson Outdoors, Utah. I think.
Peterson Outdoors Utah. There's like 1,000 underscores, so I don't remember where the underscores are.
Full guide service.
But anyway, he tries to go vegan, and it was one of the best group texts I think our friends have ever been a part of. Just trying to contemplate the fact
no
that
one ever
Mitch
responds until
was a
we
vegan.
hear out that Mitch is a vegan, and then everyone comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
dude.
You need to make up a crazy fact to get responses, but apparently it was not a crazy fact. It's real.
It was real. I lasted 15 days.
Oh, you're done?
Me and Broen, yeah.
He's looking lean over
We
here.
lasted 15 days. It was terrible.
What was the best part and the worst part?
I don't recommend it at all. The worst.
Did you feel
part-
like so great?
No. I thought, okay, I'm going to do this, for 2 weeks. I'm going to feel really good. No, I felt just hungry and terrible.
Just pissed the
so
whole time.
yeah, just pissed. So
So what was good about it?
nothing. There was
There's zero benefits.
There was zero benefits.
So what about that Netflix documentary you keep telling me to watch?
Don't watch it.
What's it called?
Propaganda?
What's it called?
It's called. What was it called?
I don't know.
Game changers.
Game Changers. Game Changers. Yeah. It's,
Far left.
it's-
Far left documentary.
Yeah, we gave it 2 weeks. It didn't work.
All right.
15 days, huh?
That's good though.
Yeah.
15 days is good.
Okay.
That's,
Not
that's,
worth
that's
it.
long,
Not
actually.
worth it.
I'm going to read some of these responses. So we kind of went off on a tangent. So this is what people said they do when their kids trip out and have night terrors. So Donnie, who was on the first episode with Kellen, he just says aloud and then just 1,000 shushes. Austin Hansen 05 Ace, he says, I go pat their back and try not to faint as I look through my foggy ass night vision. Grant put them on the couch. Dan Jones, they come tell me because they know I'm a badass and then sleep in our bed. Our kids come in our bed too, but then I try to stay awake long enough to then put them back in it, but it never works. And then we got some good parents here. B. Lillenquist, wake them up fully, then snuggle them back to sleep. He's a better man than I am, man. That takes a lot of patience. Again, you have to be fully awake. Caitlin Whitkey, let Hudson sleep in my bed, tickles back, and then get the worst sleep ever. At least she's honest about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse. Like Coco sprawls out like crazy when she sleeps. Kicking the back of the head every 3 minutes. It's the worst.
Yeah, Forrest is probably too young. I don't know. I hear a few whimpers off the monitor, but nothing like serious.
Not
you
enough
know?
to check 'em out.
Not enough to get me out of bed.
A couple more. Jake Gokritz, pretend like I don't hear they're crying.
Wow. Call
That's
child
always
services.
That's always a good kind of default, is just pretend you're asleep until your wife notices, and then she's doing the same thing, and then someone eventually gives.
Yeah.
With either a crying baby, but I feel like a nightmare is kind of different. I feel like that.
Yeah, I feel like
merits
there's no
a little
real
more
pretending because you're just like,
just screaming.
you're just both putting pillows over your head and
Yeah.
grinning and bearing it.
Couple more. Kyle Broadhead, try to find any song that calms him down and then sing My Heart Out. That's pretty good. Jeremy Patterson, I tell them that all the scary things and monsters are scared of me, so don't worry, you're fine. Last one, Matt Francis, wake him up, like make sure he's awake, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, back to bed. Yeah, I think you just wake him up. I don't know. Like Coco, when Coco does it, I usually wake her up. I don't like, because they say you're not supposed to wake up somebody that's having a nightmare or whatever. Especially with the night terror people, you're not supposed to, but I don't know if that's a myth or whatever. But
A lot of kids for Matt Francis.
Here's
a lot of kids for Matt.
we're gonna have Matt on. He's got what, 2 sets of twins?
You're the man, Matt.
We're gonna have Matthew on with
got a hell of a beard. He's got a hell of a beard
for
too.
a special twins episode. He's got 2 sets of twins. Yeah, I think to kind of close that part out, I think you have to wake him up at least a little bit, or I don't know, maybe you just wait for it. Well, we've done both. I usually wake Coco up and I'll be like, hey, and then she'll kind of like come to and knows what's going on. Then I just lay her back and she goes to bed. But then I've also just waited it out. Usually like 30 seconds or longer, I'll go in there.
So, on another side of things, though, like we were talking about how kids cry all night, keep you up forever. If any of you guys ever hallucinated about something happening to your kids, especially when the first kid, and just sprint into the room, make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
they're breathing.
Yeah, then you wake
A
them
million
up.
times.
Then you accidentally wake them up and your wife doesn't
Joke's
let you
on you.
forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
done 1,000 times, like put my hand over their chest. To make
Just because
sure
you're trying to care about your kid.
Yeah.
But then you actually wake them up and then you're good. And then you get.
Yeah. Then you're the one trying to soothe them back to
But
sleep.
you're the victim.
Yeah.
That's wild. Do you get up, Mitch?
No, mostly Rowan. I sleep.
You're still rocking that popcorn bag, I see.
It's too good. Taylor, why would you bring this?
I don't know, man. I wanted you to have a treat. I didn't know
And
you'd
how
be
messy,
crumbling in
too.
the mic the whole night.
Literally a true child. Just crumbs all over the ground. Never heard a worse chew.
You're not getting invited back, Mitch.
Yeah, I think this is like your.
That's the point.
It's your one-time debut. The next question. So this one was funny because most of these people we know. So I said, who has the scariest dad out of your friends growing up and why? So here are the two screens of answers. The biggest one, the number one answer from our group of friends was our football coach, Buck Mendenhall. So he was on there a couple times. Jake Gokritz, Buck Mendenhall said too much already. Adam Kelch.
Buck was spooky.
Everybody knows Buck Mendenhall's the scariest dad. Everyone knows this. We didn't hang out with Zed a whole lot though, so I don't know if I consider him one of our friends' dad. I mean, he was a good. I like Zed, but we didn't like really hang out with him on the weekends. He was super scary. My brother Cody says John Romney's dad, don't mess with the leather seats in his Acura. I always feel like the scariest people's dads are the ones you like never see or never meet.
That's that. When I thought about this, I was like, which of the dads of our friends were just kind of silent and in the shadows, and just like scared that they were gonna get mad at you, but you didn't really talk to them.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, those are the scariest ones.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause they could do anything.
I hated Buck the most.
So then, yeah, it's because we were on.
I
that-
walked off the baseball field
You hated him as a coach, not
as a
dad.
person. No, as a person.
We give.
Can't handle
Buck
the
was
heat,
scary.
Mitch. If you can't handle the
I will
heat,
say this. I will tell
those
this
Cedar
story.
Hills kids are
I want to
soft.
make sure this story is forever ingrained in everyone's in eternity. So my very first baseball game, I started playing baseball with you idiots in eighth grade. Somehow I got invited to like the all-star team. Don't know how, because it was slim pickings probably.
You were an all-star with us?
So I was playing
with
this,
us.
the first
like you were on the
Mitch.
team, Mitch.
The first Super League game I ever played in. So I didn't know what tagging up meant, right?
Yep.
Which is like you stay on the base until they catch it, then you run. For those that also don't know what tagging means.
Yeah, well, I got to give a shout out to Nate. He had never played a game of baseball in his life.
Never played in my
and
life.
he was like hitting walk-off home runs.
No,
You were
that never
natural.
happened.
You were natural. You didn't know the rules.
I didn't know one
But you were
rule. Still
natural.
don't know one rule.
Yeah.
Haven't watched a game of sports in my life. And so I play. So, anyways, I'm on third base. Somebody hits a ball to right field or center or whatever. Buck is next to me, three inches from me, yelling tag, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Guy catches it. I stand still on the base, don't move, and then they throw it back to the pitcher. Buck is like, at this point, he's moved from 3 inches to now an inch away from my face, screaming, "Are you like? Do you not hear me? Did I told you to?" Like, well, he was yelling like some pretty mean things.
Yeah.
He did that. He did that to me every practice.
No, I was in 8th grade, dude. I was a little guy.
Mitch was in 9th grade. So.
This is your 9th grade.
Same age.
Were you playing baseball?
He ripped me every practice.
But this is my first game. Anyways,
you get better?
that's my most. Did you get better?
Probably did.
He didn't like me and Mitch because we were from Cedar Hills.
Yeah, you guys weren't the Alpine crew.
Yeah, there's a photo of you, of him in your face.
He was
Yeah,
screaming
I
at me.
saw it in my parents' garage the other day. I was flipping through
Oh, that's unreal.
our old.
But that's the kind of, just to give everybody who has no idea what we're talking about some context.
He was a really, really tough coach.
To the point where the pitcher walked off the mound with the ball and just sat there and watched. The entire crowd was watching as he screamed at me, "Are you an idiot? Do you not know what tag means? Do you not hear me? Does your brain not work? You know, do you have mental issues?" Screaming at me, and the play just, it was out. So that's Buck. Everyone was.
I don't think his
super scared of
coaching
Buck.
methods would fly today.
Oh,
FYI.
he'd be arrested for sure. I did like him towards the end though. While it was happening, I didn't. Okay, a couple more people. Again, Caitlin Whitkey, she said, "My dad, always packing heat, always showing off his gun on his waist," which would be scary. I've never heard of any of our friends'
Who's
dads
that?
doing
Who said that?
Yeah, I'm not about that,
Caitlin
but I
Harris.
feel like Kellen and Mitchell, they'll love like
Open
flashing the shotgun
Open
on prom
carry's
night and
unreal.
Another person.
Caitlin Harris, shout out.
Kellen Levitt, right here, dude. Ice's dad, so Chase Barker's dad.
K8.
Because he would yell at Chase bright and early to get to the landscaping duty. So anytime he slept over at his house, he'd be.
I would wake
screaming.
up on a sleepover Saturday morning and it'd be Chase's dad
5
over,
a.m.
over the intercom, and I would just slither out the back door and sneak to my car and leave.
But then
But now we're close, though. I like
But then
Brad.
Chase, Brad's unreal. But then Chase would use that excuse.
Brad never talked to me one time, not once.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dads that just were like,
I saw Brad 100 times, never talked to me one time.
no, he talks, but he's
Speaking
the
of-
wild card dads.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of Chase, Jess Zubnar. Wow, I totally butchered that. Chase's fiance.
Oh yeah,
People said my dad. He didn't talk much, and he's talking. Yeah, like you said, dude, didn't talk much.
Just congrats to the
The
newly
scary one.
engaged.
Yeah,
but
Steve
that's
Bark
like
engaged.
that's actually kind of sad that we thought that, because they were probably just trying to be chill and nice and
Oh, yeah,
not
Brad's,
step on anyone's
Brad's,
toes,
yeah,
you know?
Brad's neat.
Yeah. So how do you be? So Kellen, we both have daughters. How do you be the scary dad, but also be the cool dad that like people actually want to come hang out with? Right? I don't know. But everybody that said that the scariest dads were the ones that were quiet, though.
Yeah, so I'm probably screwed that way because I'm borderline like antisocial and don't really like talking outside of on a podcast, evidently. But so if that's the criteria, I'm probably in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really like small talk with most people.
Yeah, all the responses that were scary ones, like Hobbs Laws. She said, like, my dad, people said he was scary because he was quiet. Kibby's dad, Mackenzie Garcia. Kibby, he was silent. He was so silent, it was scary, never said anything ever. Basically, all the quiet dads are the scary ones. So,
I think you just got to try
So you
to
just
be
gotta,
their
like,
friends.
probably, like, talk
You
to the
have-
kids, yeah.
Whether you talk a lot or not.
Yeah.
As long as you try to be their friend.
do you remember
But
the
it's hard
story
because
of.
you don't want to get like
do you
too
remember
close
Yeah, that's true. You want them to, like, respect you
and fear you.
and fear you.
It's like Michael Scott. I want them to love me so much that they fear me. Something like that. It's impossible.
Do you remember the
try.
story? Maybe I shouldn't be like roasting people from high school, but there was a story of there was that girl's dad who chased a car down and jumped on. So somebody basically snuck out with this girl that we went to school with, and I don't remember her name, or else I'd say because I don't really care. But essentially, the girl they were trying to. These guys went to pick up this girl at her house. She snuck out her back door, got in their car.
Who was this?
Dad was full marathoner, I guess. This little dude chased the car down. They were in like a Suburban. Chased the car down. Jumped on the car as it was driving away, and it was basically Get Out.
I forget.
It was basically the movie Get Out.
Yeah, I forget her name.
Anyways, that's the scary dad. But that's
Yeah.
also like a weird. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
and you just ruined your daughter's reputation for lifetime.
like we talked
I
about
still remember,
earlier,
I'm 32
middle of
years
the
old.
night, your out of body experience. We can't
Yeah.
be blaming these dads that go nuts in the middle of the night,
Oh,
right?
that's true. You wake up to your daughter. You
Probably
think she's
that's just
getting
evidence it
kidnapped.
never goes away.
Yeah. Well, it's evidence that girl's reputation's rammed too, because I'm 32 and I still remember it. So,
That's hilarious.
okay, next segment. So the last segment I had was, and I don't know if one of you guys said to do this, but how do you transfer your kid? Now, my kids, luckily, actually, this does happen with my kids. How do you transfer your sleeping child from the car seat to the bed
I don't.
without waking them up, or do you just wake them up and say, "Screw it,
I leave
don't
him
want
in
to
the.
deal"?
I leave him in the car.
No, that
sleeping.
is a lie.
I leave him in the car with the car running, sleeping in the car seat
In the
With the garage
garage
down.
with the garage open.
Oh,
That's suicide.
I'm actually
That's what I'm
surprised you
saying,
knew
though.
that.
It's like you're flirting with accidentally
literally
forgetting.
surprised.
Garage
you knew about
open.
that.
Leave him in the car. Leave him in the truck. Truck's running. He's good.
How do you
out.
know when he wakes up?
You don't. You just.
So you get
guess.
home-
His
you get-
naps are an hour. So you
No,
go out-
what about at night?
What if you
though?
get home at night? I'm talking about night. You're transferring them to their bed. It's
Oh,
nighttime.
Well, you just take him out.
Wake them up.
Yeah. You just have to
Okay.
take him out. Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to
That's
bite
weak.
the bullet because our kids
Yeah.
are famous for falling asleep like
Every
60 seconds before we get home.
every kid
Yeah.
does that. And
is
we used
so
to yell at
bad.
the kids, like turn music up way loud, like try to make them stay up until we got home.
The other day I was driving. This is like for sure distracted driving. I could get pulled over. My hands were freezing, and I was like, had this genius idea. I
freezing.
noticed they were freezing, and I'm like, I turned around and I put my hand on Hollis's face to try to keep him awake because I'm like, do not fall asleep.
Yeah.
And my freezing cold fingers
How
on his
about
face.
your arms are 17 feet long?
How bad
too.
is it to be a kid and your parents are just not letting you sleep? But
Oh,
I
cold,
could-
freezing cold hand. That's
Yeah,
how it
freezing cold.
is.
If he fell asleep, he would not have gone to bed when he got home.
Yeah.
because for them, 60 seconds is the same.
That's
as
a good
3
wingspan,
hours.
dude. He's got those Gumby arms.
So when's bedtime?
7:30.
7:30.
8:30 for us.
We're trying
When's
to get,
yours,
we're trying to
6?
get better. But
9?
it's-
8:39.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sleep
roughly 8.
Your kid's also 1 year old. Like
Yeah.
no one knows what planet, but when they have school
Yeah.
and stuff, you got to probably figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Sleep through the night or no?
He wakes up like once.
Yeah. How would you know? You don't.
that good?
You just said you don't. Wake
You've
up.
never
Well, I
woken
hear
up
him.
one
I
time.
hear him. Just hear him.
I'll never get over Kellen's claim. 30
It's
minutes.
30 minutes or less the whole since birth.
If that's true, that's the worst ever.
Yeah, it's bad. I love them, but it's bad. Now we're getting to like 90 minutes, so it's getting a little better. Like I said, we're cresting an hour, but
Thoughts and
it's been
prayers.
bad. No, it's yeah, it's brutal.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything you can really do. There's no. I don't think. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people say the same thing where
Well, it's
you,
people,
you just have to bite the bullet.
people are
birth
joking.
control.
Yeah, people are saying never transfer. Jacob Price, never transfer, just leaving them in the car seat, which, yeah, would work on a nap, but like you can't leave them in there overnight.
So with our first, what we tried to do was lean him up against the wall in his, like kept him in the car seat, put him in the room, and then like leaned him.
So he's flat.
So or at least he's at an angle, so he's not just like sitting up and his head's
Yeah.
bobbing.
And you left them there all night?
No, we tried.
Never worked.
We knew he was going to wake up in a couple hours anyway to eat because he was pretty new. But anyway, nothing works. It's a lost
Yeah,
cause.
everyone says we had actually was surprised we had Grant still coming up with a solution. A lot of people said like just leave him in car seat. Austin Hansen 05, detach entire car seat and put the massive ass seat in the bed. He's joking. Tight
Not a
hold to
bad
chest.
idea though.
Leave them in. Yeah, my brother Cody, don't leave them in even if it's for the night. But you have to. If you have to, you can't leave them in the car overnight, right?
I like that one. JMW Cooper, overstimulation, flashlights, and loud noises. So they are the ones asking to go to bed.
Yeah, that's actually unreal.
It's hilarious. I don't know if it would work, but it's creative.
Can't imagine that's effective.
My kids are like too old now where they're like just heavy. So and then they're sitting in the boosters, right? We talked about that in the last episode. They're sitting in the boosters, but when they do fall asleep, sometimes I'm able to like throw them on my shoulder, so they're still sleeping. But then you have to have someone. But we have two kids. I mean, so we each have a kid. So then I have to hold them while I'm getting the key out to open the door, and then carry them up the stairs. They weigh twice as much when you're going upstairs somehow.
Yeah.
And then lay them down. And the most annoying thing in the world is when you do all of that and then you get to their bed and then they just sit up. Hey, Dad. I'm like, oh, you just got a free ride. Oh, I get so pissed at Coco when she does that.
It's like they're faking asleep. It's,
Hey,
it's what you get for faking asleep when they're crying at night.
Can
They're
I get
faking
some
asleep when
toast?
you're-
You know, and I'm like, what the hell? Why did you let me carry you all the way up the stairs?
Yeah. Boston will
Super
give the
annoying.
most random requests for food in the middle of the night. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's always the
something
stuff
he's
that-
never eaten before. You know?
He's like, can I have some fresh salmon?
Is there? Do we have any? Do we have any steak? I'm like, no, you don't eat steak.
It's always the stuff that takes the longest, too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my kids, they wait. That's their go-to move. Don't eat your dinner and then wait until 30 seconds before we tuck you in or whatever, and then request.
Snack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
request toast and the crust cut off and an apple skinned with like 30% of the skin left on. Like something so hard to do
Yep.
that I'm like, no, you know.
They're creative, man.
Yeah, it's always the same one. It's always the same crap. Couple more responses for the kid transfer thing. Kyle Broadhead again with another answer. My kid transfer is too easy. Sling him over the shoulder and body slam him on the bed once there. Matt Francis says silently, gently, and fast as shit. So, that's about it. Kellen says prayer.
And like honestly, that's really the solution to all of this stuff. It's like you just really have
You're
to hope.
screwed.
You just have to hope.
Yeah, the worst is when we used to have when the girls used to be in those car seats too. Also, I thought about this when you were saying detach them. Like, how bad do they hurt your arm as you're carrying those things? Like you're in the car seat. Are your kids still in the car seat, the smaller one?
Yeah, I can't even carry it.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Now they have all these like nifty little pads and stuff, but before
Yeah.
when we had them, they
It's
didn't have
way
them.
hard.
So a product I always said I wanted to invent, and probably exists.
Arms numb.
Like if it had a extendable, like imagine a black roller bag, you know, like you travel with.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
one of those handles
Like an
on a
away
car
bag.
seat that has wheels on the bottom of the car seat.
They
so
have
I can. They do.
Yeah,
So you can like just pull your kid.
They have that.
they have traveling ones
It's
like
so
that. yeah.
awkward.
Well, no,
So
not
carrying the-
just for traveling, but like that it's a car seat and you can put it in your car. Then you pull it out.
Yeah,
The
it's a
wheels
stroller.
pop out and you can pull them behind you.
Yeah, so they
Instead
have
of
that,
having
they
it wear
have-
out your arm.
Yeah, so now they have the one that's exactly like that, but it just pops up as a stroller.
Oh wow.
So it tucks in, both the sides tuck in as a car seat, and then you get the car seat out and literally you pull two things, and it's a full blown stroller. Don't have to transfer the kid at all.
So
it's
it goes
unreal.
from car seat to stroller.
Yeah, look it up. Sloan's
Really?
friend has one. Yeah, Meredith and Andrew have one.
That's wild.
I can't afford it.
They're unreal. I can't afford it.
Unofficial sponsor. You got to look those guys up. It's amazing.
Yeah, I need to look him up. I'll look him up right now. Let's have your phone, right?
I don't know
Have
how
you seen-
I don't know how Brown carries the. I don't know how she carries him around in that car seat.
That's like
I can barely do it.
It's a mom.
It's awkward.
It's like superpower, super mom powers, man. They kick in.
So this one's called the. Sorry to interrupt. This is called the Duna. Yeah. So look at this. This is what it is.
See a price tag.
So it's car seat, and then it just you literally pop it up and it goes straight to a stroller.
For sure, can't afford.
What are we guessing? I'm thinking like
Gotta be
I'm
seven.
thinking
gotta be-
$1,200
it's gotta be-
bucks.
Oh, easy.
Let's say whoever's furthest off has to buy one for
the
Mitch.
Duna.
That's a real.
Has to
It's a
buy
bargain at 600.
I'd say, well, it's 600. Is that what it was?
When do you?
Oh,
500.
$499.
Wow.
I thought it was gonna be way more. But how decent, dude? You don't have to do. Yeah, I've seen it in action. It's pretty baller.
What's the age?
That's incredible.
What kid fits in that?
What do you mean? It's a regular thing. Your kid probably fits in this.
Look at
doesn't
What
it?
those
age
safety,
to what
look
age?
at those safety ratings.
What do you mean? Tell what age?
I don't know. Forrest is already out of his that he's in right now.
Does he fit
needs
in
a
this
new
thing?
one. He needs a new one.
Needs a new car seat?
Yeah, he's
What
out.
are
He's
you
outgrown
talking
it. So
about?
what do you get him next?
So now he's in like the number 2 seat, man. He's in a
So-
little bit bigger one.
Now I get the Duna.
There's no way he's outgrown his car seat. He's only one.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's outgrown it. When do you turn them around where they face the front?
That's like
2,
a while.
3.
No, I think you got. No, I think it goes on weight. Isn't your kid pretty
I
tiny?
think they recommend like 7, but
I haven't
most
seen.
people
I've literally never seen your kid since he was.
He's like 27
6 days
pounds.
old. So
27 pounds.
yeah, I think you have to wait till they're like 30 pounds.
More maybe.
Probably just Google it, maybe.
You have to keep him
Don't
facing
don't
to
look
the back.
if you actually want to. The regulation will tell you like 60 pounds or 70.
the regulations like grade school. I'm not
Yeah,
kidding.
we talked about it on
Yeah,
the
we talked
first
about
podcast.
the first one.
It's
Yeah, they look like Buddy the Elf, just like way massive kid.
That's a bad.
Yeah, that
ride.
is unreal.
That's a bad ride facing backwards.
Terrible.
if I had a kid this age, if I were one of you two, this would be number 1 purchase.
Yeah, I need the Donna.
That's called the Duna.
yeah, with,
We really need them to sponsor the podcast too. That's amazing.
Get that burgundy one.
Yeah,
All right,
they,
well.
they need to hit Twitch. So
Sponsor, maybe they'll give me a free one.
okay. Any other answers on this transfer car seat thing?
My wife always does it. I can't really add much here.
Your wife always does it. Even Mabel.
Does she
She's
do it every
strong,
time?
dude.
Success?
Yeah. Well, every time the kids are in the car with me, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs to keep them awake. So
Yeah.
I will never. I never
Yeah,
face
I've
this.
I've
and,
done it all.
And I just refuse to travel after 6 p.m. with the kids. You know, I just cut a hard, fast line.
It sounds like Matt. She doesn't leave his house unless it's to hunt.
Yeah, what all have you guys done to keep your kids awake? I put my freezing cold hands, turn up the music. I've rolled down the windows in the freezing
Oh,
cold.
100%.
I scream and sing and carry on.
Does this happen after 1 year old? Because I
Yeah.
want him to sleep all the time.
Yeah, you.
Give it, but not at night, not right before bed.
Well, it depends.
I want him to sleep. I never.
How
try
many
and,
times
I've
does he-
never tried and wake him up.
How many times does he sleep a day? Does he still nap multiple times a day?
He naps once and then he goes to bed at night.
So what if he fell asleep in the car at 6?
6 and
That's-
you get home at 7. He's been asleep for an hour.
That's
and then
fine.
And then you wake. And then when you're transferring, he wakes up.
That's fine. The more the sleep, the better.
Yeah, but
never try to wake him up. Ever.
Did you hear what I just said? What if he wakes up when you drop him on the bed?
I won't go
Like,
back.
when
I
you
won't,
transfer
go
him-
back to sleep.
Transfer him in the car seat.
He'll go back to bed in a little bit.
I
Maybe
feel
it's
like you-
different.
I feel
He's
like
too
you-
young still. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You've had this child for a year. I feel like you should know more about the
I don't
transferring
know.
thing.
I don't know much about him.
Not even.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, I guarantee Browan's gonna listen back to this. Like, no, that is
We're cutting
that is
out
the,
all of this.
That is the worst thing that happens to me every day.
Can't watch this
when
at
he,
all.
when he falls asleep in the car.
I'm gonna get a text from Bro and be like, "Will you please cut Mitch out of the podcast entirely?"
She told me not to come. She told me don't go.
We're like talking about all the hard stuff, and Mitch is like, "No, this is all easy." Browan's just
What are
at
you guys talking
home.
about?
Browan's just at home raging.
Yeah, we're talking about like how to clean throw up out of a car seat. And he's like, "Oh, it's never happened."
Never heard of it.
It's like, yeah, that's because when it happens, you bell, dude. That's unreal.
Mitch is hunting.
They're out of control. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Any final thoughts, words of wisdom? Get your kids' adenoids checked.
Yeah, get the
Yeah,
adenoids.
no,
checked.
for a second.
If no, for real, I mean, if there's
Wait, the
someone else-
adenoids are the ears?
No, it's like a thing in your
something
throat.
inside the ear, I think. No,
Throat?
sinus, like throat sinus type deal. You go
Two
to
different
you go to
things.
an ear, nose, and throat doctor for it. But no, I mean, if anyone's listening on here and wants to hit on my wife on strategies to get kids to sleep,
If there's any doctors listening, hit
Yeah,
up
if you want
Kellen
to hear-
at Kellen Levitt on Instagram and give him some
For
suggestions.
real.
Probably
He needs help.
that's too funny. All right.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's wild.
minutes is bad.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for coming, guys. We will see you next time. Also, if you are listening to this, subscribe, rate, and review. It helps. It helps to get more viewers and more people doing it, and then I can drag these guys into it every week. So we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks a
Lone
lot.
Peak High, class 2006.
Oh, yeah.
No.